CX has been officially announced. It's almost here. It's a month out, and my God, this is going to be the biggest shakeup to the Beyblade X competitive scene so far. Let's talk about it. What's good, YouTubers? We're T-Flame, T-Fuego, T-Get Out, I can't get more. And today, I'm going to be breaking down CX and talking about how I think this is going to impact the competitive metagame. You know, I know a lot of people have made videos on CX already. I wanted to wait until we got all the information, and plus, I've been busy the past couple days, and I didn't want to just record a random video, you know, with a little bit of info, and then be rushing because I got to take my girl out for Valentine's Day. I hope y'all had a wonderful Valentine's Day if you celebrate. Even if you don't got a special someone in your life, you know what? I love you, and, you know, there are people that love you, so celebrate that. But anyway, forget love. Beyblade X CX, man, this is insane. This is going to be, you know, March is going to be the year March is going to be the month of every Beyblade, you know, cycle for Beyblade X where there's going to be huge shakeup to the metagame. Because last year it was CX, last year was UX, this year it's CX. And CX is bringing a whole lot of customization. You know, we've been waiting, a lot of people have been waiting for the customization that, you know, comes with, you know, well, Metal Fight, it was there throughout the whole time. Burst, it came in the later half, more customization. But now Beyblade X followed in like a Beyblade Burst kind of trend, where the first two seasons were mainly, you know, the standard Bay, like just the normal Bay being one piece, like Silver Wolf we have right here just being one piece. But it looks like this third iteration of Beyblade X, like the third system in Beyblade X, the CX, is looking to actually add customization. So the three main parts we have in the CX system is we have the lock chip, which is going to be responsible for holding the whole thing together. We got the main blade, which is going to be the one that is going to be doing most of the attacking, and we got the assist blade, which, from what, you know, the descriptions of the assist blades have been that we have so far, look like they are supposed to align with the main blade and give it a little bit more. It's supposed to assist the main blade. Like, it's not the main blade, it's the assistant, you know, the lieutenant, you know. Anyway, so that's the basic breakdown of the system. It still has, you know, nothing new with the ratchets or the bits, which I thought was going to happen. I thought we were going to get some more gimmicky ratchets, but it might not yet. But we still have a couple of new ratchets, actually 3 brand new ratchets to talk about. So the first Bay that we had that was announced, well, they all were announced at the same time, but we're gonna go CX01 is none other than Dran Brave, which looks to be a Valkyrie inspired Bay, very much so. It comes with the Dran, the lock chip is Dran, and then the metal part is Brave, and then the assist blade is Slash, and then the ratchet is 660, and it comes with Vortex. And so the Brave layer, although it looks a lot smoother, we're going back to a 3-sided Dran blade, so this looks more similar to like Dran's sword. It looks a little bit more rounded. However, the upper on it, the slope on it, looks pretty good. So I'm thinking, even though it may not be as, like, you know, Dran's sword can just smash everything because it has like really, really crazy attack points, even though the attack points on Dran Brave, which are still big, aren't necessarily as pointy, it doesn't matter because the upper blades are really, really good. And I mean, it doesn't really matter if you have the most stamina in the world. Having good upper makes you just automatically a great Beyblade. Having good upper and a decent amount of weight, that makes a lot of blades really good. Like Lightning El Drago from Metal Fight, that's just an upper machine. You want to look at Guilty Longinus or Rage Longinus from Burst. Those things have some crazy upper. So I'm not really too, you know, worried about, you know, the shape being rounded, because if it's upper, it's going to be insane. You know, Slash, the assist blade looks to be like 3-pointed, so it should align, you know, with Dran Brave really well. Part of me wonders if there's going to be like pseudo mode changes to where, like, if you orient the 3 sides in another direction, can you kind of like play with that weight distribution a little bit? That's what I'm wondering a little bit. Because I don't think there's anything showing that it has to be locked in a specific way, because there's 3 pieces. So part of me wonders if you could just like twist it and then lock it in that way, and there'll be a slightly different orientation. Like how you can slightly orient the ratchets in 2 ways. You can lock it in one way or lock it in another, just to align it a little differently. But that's something we're gonna have to wait and see. Then we get 660, which appears to looks a lot like 560, like a lot of people have been saying, but it's a lot rounder. So 560's nubs aren't that pronounced, but it still bursts a decent amount. But 660, this looks to be, they are significantly smaller and a lot more round. So I think this is going to be one of the top tier ratchets. And last but not least, when it comes to Dran Brave, we have Vortex, which looks like the inverse of Cyclone, which we got from Cobalt Dragoon. But something to note is that based off of what we're looking at right now, Vortex appears to be a little bit more wider than Cyclone, which is going to give it a lot more power in the stadium. I think Cyclone's biggest issue is that it's a little small. Even though it has this star shape, it's a little small. So being a little wider, I think that's going to go a long way. So that's Dran Brave. This bay is, we're also getting a red recolor of it in the stadium set. So if you want to pick that up, and honestly, while we're on that topic, if you want to pick any of this up, y'all got to make sure to do it at Mall of Toys. When you go use code TFlame2K at checkout, you save yourself 5% and you help support the channel. Link to Mall of Toys is right there in the description. You can click on that, go straight to the website, get your pre-orders in, because pre-orders for this, I mean, this entire CX thing is very hype. So you got to get them pre-orders while you can, because you don't want, if you get your pre-order too late, right, you might be getting a second shipment, meaning you might be getting it later into April, right, if you put in your order a little too late. So make sure, you place your pre-order as soon as possible at Mall of Toys, link in the description. Next up, we have Wizard Arc, which, if you remember Wizard Rod, which it's hard to forget, when Wizard Rod hit the scene, took the meta by storm. I am very nervous. I hope this thing is good, but not broken. I mean, it'd be good if it could, like, beat Wizard Rod, but at the same time, if it could beat Wizard Rod, that means someone could run Wizard Arc and Wizard Rod in the same deck. And personally, I don't want that. So I don't know if there's a way for it to counter Wizard Rod, but then be easier to be countered. I guess that'd be great. But anyway, we have Wizard Arc round 455 low orb. Now with this thing, this is actually like, I think this is going to be the best stock stamina type release, period. Because with Beyblade X, for some reason, Takara Tomy has been advertising stamina types to be taller, right? And stamina and tall height, that doesn't really work, because the bits are already tall. All Beyblade X Beyblades are already tall. So when you're taller, being a stamina build makes it easier to get knocked off balance. So really, you want to be low if you are stamina type. And with Wizard Arc, looks like Takara Tomy is actually making a competitive stamina type, because in Beyblade X tournaments, you never see tall stamina. That just doesn't work. Tall heights in general are just not something you want to run in Beyblade X, because when you're taller, I mean, obviously, like I said, you get knocked off balance, but also you come with the burst risk, because if you're taller, that means it'd be easier for the other opponent to hit you in the ratchet, and then you go boom. And so you don't want to go boom, especially when you're a stamina type. You're not really moving a lot. You're sitting in the middle. You don't want to have someone hit you, and as soon as they hit you, you go boom. So the fact that this is on the lowest ratchet, which is the first part I'm talking about, the 455 is going to be phenomenal. And also, something about this 455 ratchet is that it's actually modified. Similar to how 385 was modified, and it wasn't exactly like 3, it was significantly more round. This is also different than the normal 4-sided ratchet. And honestly, if the 4-sided ratchet looked like this, it might not be as bad, because even though it has, like, it looks like it has grooves, it looks like the Sting disc from Beyblade Burst. So even though it has like grooves, it doesn't, the points that you would need to hit don't look like it doesn't look like it's going to be that burst prone. That's not what it looks like. And so a couple of things also about this ratchet. I mean, the fact that it's lower on stamina, it's going to be great, but on attack, it's also going to be phenomenal because you're lower and it's going to help you get under base. But something that it looks like that Zinky mentioned in his video is that similar to 385, how 385 was a modified ratchet, how it didn't have, the plastic that would lock in the middle was smaller, and it overall was really light. It looks like 455, based off of what we see right now, could be like that, which is a good balance, because if 455 was the normal weight and low height, it would be insane, right? There needs to be a trade-off. So it looks like this is going to be balanced by being a substantially lighter ratchet. It does look a lot more hollow than the normal ratchets. So even though you're going to be able to burst other Beyblades easier if you run it on attack, or be really good at like stamina because you're lower and you're not going to get knocked off balance that easy, the trade-off is you're going to be losing some weight, which I'd say that's a fair trade-off. But getting into the other parts of the Beyblade, I mean, you got the lock chip wizard. You got Arc, which is pretty much looks like a smoother version, or like a bigger version of Wizard Arrow. Which Wizard Arrow, it's not bad in shape, it's just the weight on it is garbage. So as long as this thing weighs decent, this shape I think will be pretty good. Wizard, it also has like a little gap, which I guess could cause a little bit of recoil, which I mean could make it balanced, I guess, but it has plastic in that gap. So I wonder if that gap is really going to matter, because I mean, it's similar. This looks like Phantom Orion shape. This shape really looks like Phantom Orion, the way it's shaped, and Phantom Orion is really, really good. So I think this guy is going to be pretty phenomenal. Round appears to be a really big and round assist blade. Specifically, it's described as circular stiff assist blade, and Wizard Arc is described as an outlying metal, smooth outlying metal blades for better centrifugal force, which means the Bey is going to be able to like be stable, which is essentially the same thing that Wizard Rod is able to do so well at, which makes me think this guy is probably going to be a monster. But also, last but not least, low orb. I mean, having a low ball bit is going to be crazy. Ball is already really good, but the ball's weaknesses, get your jokes, laugh now if you need to laugh, you're immature, whatever, about, I said balls. But anyway, ball, the main problem with it is that it can get knocked off balance. It's still really good, but the biggest weakness is it getting knocked off balance, or being like thrown around easy, being able to KO it easy. Being lower to the ground is going to make it harder for you to get knocked out, because it's going to be harder to get knocked off balance because of you're being lower to the ground. And also it just adds, defense, being lower to the ground. That means there's not a lot of, the hits aren't going to be from as below, because if you're taller and you get hit below, it's going to send you flying a lot more. So being lower to the ground, that's going to help a whole lot. But anyway, that's Wizard Arc, which is, I think, pretty good. This guy's going to be pretty shy. But now we're getting into I saved the best for last. This is the best so far Beyblade that has been announced for CX, and honestly, once I get this guy, I don't care if it's good or bad, this guy is going to be my favorite Beyblade X Beyblade for a minute, unless they release like, I don't know, like an actual El Drago inspired Beyblade or something like that. But we have none other than Perseus Dark, the freaking Metal Fight callback. Just like Arrow Pegasus was a callback to Pegasus from Metal Fight, but mainly Galaxy Pegasus, this is a callback to Gravity Perseus. And I mean, it looks literally like this looks like a Perseus evolution. Like, this looks like it could have been what if they gave Perseus an evolution in Metal Fight. This is what it would have looked like, which is just insane, because Perseus deserved an evolution so bad, and it was one of my favorite Beyblades in Metal Fight, and it's still one of my favorite Beyblades in Metal Fight Competitive. It's a great Beyblade, and so this one definitely looks the most interesting shape-wise. Excuse me. Dran Brave. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. Stay hydrated. Sorry, drink your water. Dran Brave, it's clear to tell that's gonna be upper, right? With Wizard Arc, you could tell stamina. With Perseus Dark, it's 6 blades that I don't know. I feel like this thing naturally, is going to be used for attack, because when you have a weird shape and you spin real fast and hit the other opponent hard, you'll probably knock them out the stadium. So when in doubt, if something's weird shaped, it can be used for attack. But it's just, I don't know, it's still round though, so that makes me think it could be like, maybe this is like gonna be have like the Health Scythe. How Health Scythe at the beginning of the meta, you know, it was very round but also had some aggressiveness to it, which allowed it to really knock out any stamina bays, really bully stamina bays. I wonder if, you know, even though this thing is recoily, if it has enough stamina to, you know, be able to bully other stamina types. Now that would be phenomenal. And so it comes with, you know, the Dark Blade, well, the Perseus Lock chip, the Dark Blade, which I just talked about, Bumper, which a lot of people are saying round are going to be the best, is going to be the best assist blade. Personally, I think Bumper might be, because defense types, they usually are the type that Karatomi focuses on making heavy. And round, even though it looks big, there's a lot of holes in it, which I don't think is going to make it as heavy. Whereas Bumper looks very, you know, thick. You know, it looks very, like, I think Bumper is going to be the heaviest one. And if it is, that's going to automatically make it the best. That's going to automatically make it the best assist blade. Well, granted, depending on alignment and how it works, you know, maybe it'll have an imbalance or something, which will throw it off, but it doesn't look like it's going to. But I just think based off of pure weight, it looks like it's going to be the heaviest. And if so, that I think is going to put it on the scene and make it pretty solid. But we also get 680, which is, you know, we just saw 660. So now with Dran Brave, so now we have 680 on a higher height. But the other interesting part about it is Wedge, which is a very interesting looking bit. It looks like a misformed, misprinted Rush. It's like a small, you know what it reminds me of? If you know the Blow driver from Burst, that's what this reminds me of, because it's coming down to a point. It's like, it's just, it looks really weird. And the description of it says that it is a bit that inhibits extreme dashes. So I wonder if the point of this bit is that it's going to hit hard but then be immune to the extreme line, which as a defense type, that is what you want. You want, because when you hit the extreme line, sure, you get a lot of speed, but that takes a lot of your stamina. And so if you hit a stamina or defense bait into the extreme line and it does an extreme dash, if it doesn't knock out the other bait, it's going to have lost a lot of stamina and destabilized quite a bit. So if this is immune to the extreme dash line, that would be interesting. The Perseus Dark Blade is described as, you know, 6 metal blades to deflect and enable counterattacks. I think that means it's going to be just good for attack. Bumper is just simply said as an assist blade, better enabling defense, which makes me think it's going to have, you know, a good amount of weight to it. So that being said, from my competitive standpoint, you know, I think from a competitive standpoint, 455 is going to be huge. These other bays, you know, we have to like test them and really see, but I mean, as long as these guys are all weighed decently, they can't really be bad, because none of these shapes are that bad. Dran Brave, as long as it weighs like 35, 36 grams, I think it's going to be good. Wizard Arc, if it weighs, I really think if this thing is like really good, like stamina wise with the shape, I think it can get away with like 33, 34 grams. Just because, like, I think, you know, Wizard Rod is only 36 grams, and I think if this thing is lighter, like 35, 34, if the shape is good, I still think it will have, like, as long as the shape is good, I think it'll still be good. Personally, I think it'll probably be around 35, 36 to keep it on par with Wizard Rod. But, well, off the bat, I think Perseus Dark looks to be like it's going to be the heaviest one, which as long as, like, you know, the shape isn't the greatest, but if it has a good enough weight, that's all that matters. Like, Phoenix Wing shape is not the greatest, but it has a good amount of weight. Impact Drake, Cobalt Drake, a lot of these heavier bays don't have the greatest shape. Whale Wave, they don't have these shapes are not good for stamina, but they're heavy enough, which allows them to, you know, bully the other bay. And so this is going to be a real big shakeup to the meta. You know, unfortunately, February is kind of like a buffer month where we're getting what's the bait? I forgot its name. Shelter Drake, which is just a bunch of, and it throws in a bunch of random parts like 780 and 780 and gear point, which seems like parts that they just needed to make. Well, we already have gear point. We've got it reprinted a couple times, but 780, maybe they didn't see another release that's coming out that's gonna have 780, so they want to throw it in there. And Shelter Drake, the weight doesn't look to be good, but the shape doesn't look bad, but it's just like a buffer month, right? No one really cares about what's coming out this month. Everybody's gonna be waiting for CX, and you know, like I said, if you want to support the channel and get CX, Mall of Toys link in the description. I think this is going to be pretty hype. So let me know your thoughts on CX in the comments down below. What's your favorite Bay? I think, you know, Perseus Dark looks insane to me. You know, oh, I didn't say it, but we're getting a recolor in the stadium set. I said that for Dran Brave, but I don't think I said it for Perseus Dark. But the Perseus Dark recolor I think looks all right, but the main one that you're getting in the booster looks just phenomenal. I can't wait to get that Bay. But anyway, I ain't got nothing else to say. I'm hype, and now we got to wait a whole month for it. But you know what? You know what though? Slightly off topic. This CX thing is gonna cover my anticipation. That's what I'm gonna be doing all of March, and then that's what's gonna kind of carry my attention until the Nintendo Switch 2 presentation in April. So it's gonna be a great couple months, and honestly, this is gonna be a great year. So I just wanted to take a time to say that, you know, I want to be streaming on Twitch more, so the link to my Twitch is in the description. Also, we're going to be doing more gaming content on my main channel. Link to that is also in my link tree. So anyway, it's going to be a hype year. I'm excited because this system looks crazy, and I can't wait to, as we get more bays, we can customize more, which is what I love about Beyblade, the customizability, which is going to shake up the meta because you can bring a whole lot more. That's what I love about Metal Fight, is that you could do a whole lot with it, and that's what I really like about this Beyblade X system, is it's going to give you a lot more options to do whatever you want, and I think that's the best part about Beyblade in general. And so I'm excited we're going to take the next step in Beyblade X. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.